Hi everyone. So when you're watching this video, you'll be curious about how the whole transition works. So before that, let me briefly get you to how can you reach to the folder of transition in Isaac Hub. So first, very simple, just go to hub.isaac.org, and then if it shows that page that you need to log in, just put your ID and password like your expert. If you cannot access, then you know that your LCVP did not give you any access, which means that your role is not being assigned an expert. So the thing you need to do is to call them and ask them why I haven't got access yet. So this is very simple, right? And then after that, go to the community part where you will see all communities, and then you will go to Isaac in Malaysia, and then after that you click topics, and then you will see there's about EV 2018, and then you can see this one EV one-to-one transition framework. So here is the way that you can find your transition framework. So if for example I'm from UPM, I'll go to UPM transition framework. In this framework, is for this board itself is for you to understand that how was the progress of everyone in terms of transition. And it's very important for you to make sure you finish all the checklists in transition, because transition is an important part for you to make sure that you are better equipped with the knowledge, not only just knowing on how to manage a team, but also knowing in terms of how to lead your team to implement certain strategy in your function. So if you don't go through the process, it's very hard for you to catch up when you start your term, and you will face a lot of difficulties because of that. So really, if you're a current, please make sure you do your transition with your elect, and if you're elect, please make sure that your current do transition with you. So here are the transition flow where you can read it and understand, get started, to know each other, and then there are a few blocks. The first block is actually understand who you are and what you want to achieve, and the second one is actually leading, understand your leadership style, how to select your team, how to utilize your strength to lead the team, and core competency is about how can you lead your how can you be a better leader in terms of what kind of management skill that you need to have, and lastly is what kind of functional skill that you need to have to be a 100% good at LCVP. So here are the timeline. You can check the timeline to make sure that you do your transition on time. And then after that, in this place, you will see the scoreboard in detail of progress for each department. Okay. So very simple. So for example, you are in OGV. So if, right now, you go through expectation settings. So first you set expectation, transition agenda, transition meeting, and talk about the JD, job description, and then self-awareness, and then leading others, leading myself, and growth, empathy, eagerness, and yeah. So these are the part that you need to make sure that you go through with your LCVP. And if you want to know more about the functional transition, go to your each functions video to know more, and also you can check it out at the side of the video that you can see there's a LCV, there's one for OGV, there's OGV, there's one for B2C, and there's one for the other function. So you can check more from that. And then, but the thing I want you to really know is expectation JD, knowing yourself, knowing how to lead others, and knowing how to lead yourself, and make sure that you have the core competency. Transition are an important process for you to equip yourself mentally and be ready for your role. And remember that in the end of the day, being a good LCVP is just not about knowing 100% about the function, but also knowing on how can you be a better leader in leading a team. So that's all for me. And once you're done, you can just click, for example, I've done this, I will just click done. Okay. And then once you're done, then you can see that it will actually in the progress itself, you can actually see it will actually move the progress. See, and there's done. And if you go overall, then you can see the overall progress, which is 77%. So this is the part that you know how was your progress so far. And remember that a lot of time, we already have resources for you. So when your LCVP do transition or anything, just ask them to go to resources there, to actually check out the material that we sent to you that's centralized. Because I know that not every transition topic you may have experience. So if you do not have experience, at least make sure that your current or an elect both read through the thing together and discuss more on that. Yeah, so that's all from me. Thank you.